It was June 9th, 1987, and I was 7 years old. My mommy, older sister Ale, and younger brother Juanito lived in an apartment in Little Village. Little Village is a Mexican community in the south side of Chicago. Mommy did the best she could to pay the rent and keep us well fed. My dad, he didn't help much, and we never really knew when he'd be around. But Mommy, she worked at Continental Bank, doing data entry like a pro. I knew this at a very young age, because whenever she'd hold my hand and talk to people, I could feel her fingers softly pressing against my skin, typing everything they said. It tickled me, and I loved it. I'd think, she must be the fastest typist in the world, and I knew that I'd be too. On this particular day, when Mommy got home from work, the phone rang. It was my Tia Rocio. I didn't know Tia Rocio that well because she lived in León, Guanajuato, and we hadn't lived there in years. Thank goodness Mommy worked so hard and was able to afford a phone because this call was very important. So there she was on the phone, and out of nowhere, boom, like a thunderous shake, Mommy let out a wail. Mommy let out this horrible wail. Ale, Juanito, and I all ran over to her. Mommy asked questions that didn't make sense to me. ¿Cómo? ¿Pero por qué? ¿Cómo voy a ir? I was desperate to understand what the questions meant and what the answers were. You see, I was a very inquisitive child and always listened to everything Mommy said, everything. When she'd whisper so that I couldn't hear, I'd close my eyes so I could focus on hearing as much as I could. When she'd shut herself in a room so that I couldn't hear, I'd put one ear against the door and plug the other ear with my finger. And I'm sure I stayed pressed against her womb when I was a fetus the entire 9 months before my birth. So of course, when Mommy let out this wail and I couldn't hear what my Tia Rocio was saying, I was desperate. When she finally hung up, the tears came streaming down her face and that thunderous wail followed. My heart pounded so hard as we stared at her. She finally looked back at us and said, "Se murió mi papá. Se murió Papá Ramón." I wondered, Papá Ramón, ¿quién es Papá Ramón? Oh, sí, el papá de mi mami, mi Papá Ramón. Oh yes, my Papá Ramón, my grandfather. Papá Ramón is the man on the cassette Mommy plays sometimes. Whenever she'd play it, she'd cry. I finally understood. And what I understood even more was that my mom was not going to stop crying, and there was nothing I could do. The following day, Mommy did the most unlikely thing. She stayed home from work. We must have had cereal that morning. We had lots and lots of cereal as kids. Although the thing is that I don't remember having cereal that morning. I don't remember doing the thing that I usually did every morning, which was elbow my milk so it'd spill and I wouldn't have to drink it. My Anita de Peligro qualities were on hold. Mommy tells me Papá Ramón gave me that nickname, Anita de Peligro. Anita, the dangerous one. What I do remember from that morning is the quiet. My mom crying. Mommy, Ale, Juanito, and me sitting on our impeccably clean kitchen floor the entire day. The sun rays that entered our kitchen window and how they beamed against the speckles of dust in the air. We sat with our legs crossed listening to Papá Ramón sing and talk to Mommy on the cassette player as Mommy cried. She played it over and over and over again. My Papá Ramón had recorded himself that January 1987, only 6 months prior to the day he passed away. It was as if he knew. He said he hoped we were happy and healthy. He said he wanted to know that we were all okay because, as he said in the recording, si ustedes están bien, nosotros estamos bien. If you're okay, then we're okay. He said his singing voice wasn't as strong as it used to be, pero ni modo, voy a dedicarte esta canción, mija. Mid-afternoon came and we continued to sit around my mom like an elephant pack. I worked hard to behave. Except, then I saw Juanito pick up a cockroach by its antenna and happily say, "Mira." He waved the cockroach around midair, its legs swinging back and forth. Juanito was only 5 years old and must have been bored and decided to play with this treacherous thing. When I saw the roach, I yelled so loud my mom stopped crying. My mom looked lost. I looked at me in disgust, as if to say, "Cállate, shut up." Juanito dropped the roach and thudded on the ground and ran for dear life. Juanito started to cry because he didn't know what he'd done wrong and I was ashamed. But then, we all calmed down. Somehow time stopped. The sun set and dulled the kitchen, perhaps to match my mom's grief. And that's how we grieved Papa Ramon. Mommy wasn't able to go to León, Guanajuato for the burial because she didn't have papeles. She was undocumented. I never got to know Papa Ramon personally because I lived here and he lived over there. And still today I carry the feeling of wishing I could have done something so that my mom could have gone to his burial. I wish I would have had the opportunity to see him before he died, to have known the feel of his hugs, because I bet they were wonderful, and to have felt the vibrations of his beautiful singing voice. That day though, the day after he passed away, I felt his love through the care he expressed to my mom in the recording, through his beautiful singing voice, through the sun rays that entered the kitchen. Thank you.